Because in this business, you know, you're only as good as your last hit. And I noticed that, I realized that. So, you know, I got to keep on working. I can't, like I said, dwell on success.
What's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video. If you haven't already, check out my video essays on Ralph Tresvant's Living in a Dream, Bobby Brown's Mystical Magic, New Edition's Tender Love, Every Little Step, as well as the album retrospectives on The Candy Girl, New Edition, All for Love, King of Stage, Under the Blue Moon, Chemistry, Heartbreak, Don't Be Cruel, Poison, Johnny Gill, and Ralph Tresvant. In each video, I dive into interesting topics not commonly known about New Edition. Following the moderate success of his first debut album, King of Stage, Bobby Brown would go back to the drawing board, and with the help of L.A. Reid, Babyface, Daryl Simmons, and Teddy Riley, Bobby would take the music industry by storm with the release of his second album, Don't Be Cruel. The classic singles, My Prerogative, Roni, Every Little Step, Don't Be Cruel, and Rock With Ya solidified his status as a crossover superstar. The album will go on to sell 12 million copies, and his popularity would earn Bobby the position of headliner on his own tour in 1989. That same year, MCA would release a remix album of Don't Be Cruel titled Dance You Know It, which also featured songs from King of Stage and his latest hit, On Our Own, from the Ghostbusters soundtrack, ending the decade on a triumphant note considering the struggles he faced years prior. 1990 would mark the beginning of the next phase in Bobby's career, and the anticipation of his next album would start to build. In this video, I'll be discussing the history leading up to and slightly after the Bobby album. While you're here, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and also consider becoming a Retrospective member on the channel, which will give you access to exclusive content. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Much like Bobby, New Edition would also have a successful run with their latest album, Heartbreak. However, the group would split up immediately after the Heartbreak tour and release solo projects. Johnny Gill, the newly formed Belle Biv DeVoe, and Ralph Tresvant would enjoy multi-platinum success. Meanwhile, Bobby would branch out artistically and would appear on tracks with other artists between 1989 and 1991. The first of which being Babyface's Tender Lover, where Bobby lends rap rhymes on the radio remix. Glenn Medeiros' She Ain't Worth It, where Bobby again contributes a rap verse, released as a single on May 8th, 1990, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and charting in the top 10 and 20 in several overseas music charts. Bobby would share the mic with several music greats such as Anita Baker, Dionne Warwick, Stevie Wonder, Stephanie Mills, BB and CeCe Winans, and more on the gospel hymn Lift Every Voice and Sing. Its cultural significance would lead to it being added to the National Recording Registry years later in 2016. Bobby would team up with Ralph Tresvant for his debut album, appearing on Stone Cold Gentleman and the music video for Sensitivity. On September 6, 1990, Bobby Brown would reunite on stage with New Edition, performing a medley of the group's hits, If It Isn't Love, Mr. Telephone Man, and Can You Stand the Rain, but not before teasing Tap Into My Heart, which was a prelude to what we would hear on his follow-up album. The following year, Bobby would again reunite with the other members of New Edition on Belle Biv DeVoe's Word to the Mother, singing prominent vocals and sharing a rap verse with Ralph. Around this time, the music industry would begin to shift, moving away from New Jack Swing and into an era of R&B that would be centered around stronger vocals. In response to this, Bobby would bring back L.A. Reid, Babyface, Teddy Riley, and Daryl Simmons to write and produce for his album.
The last album did so good, 12.5 million albums worldwide. You kind of get scared to drop another album, but I took my time with it. You know, I didn't try to rush anything, and I think we came up with the best album we could possibly do in the time frame that we had to do it.
You always hear people say that you're only as good as your last project.
That is true. That is very true. You know, I wanted to come out with an album a lot sooner, but I took my time, and you know, that works. So you know, you don't change something, you don't fix something that ain't broke. So I worked with them again. I met Teddy Riley a long time ago when New Edition first started out. By the time I got to the point where I was going to do my own album, he was just the best producer around at the time, and asked him to do some cuts with me. Maybe since then we've been tight.
Teddy Riley, who co-wrote My Prerogative with Bobby and Aaron Hall, would enjoy double platinum success with the latter, along with Timmy Gatling with the group's self-titled debut. Released on June 13th, 1988, it featured the singles Round and Round, Groove Me, Teddy's Jam, I Like, and Spend the Night. The the most successful being I Like, released as a single on February 24th, 1989, and peaking at number 70 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 2 on the R&B chart. The group would release a follow-up album on November 13th, 1990, The Future, spawning 7 singles, the most prominent being Let's Chill, released on February 18th, 1991, reaching number 41 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 3 on the R&B chart. Due to being the pioneer of New Jack Swing, Michael Jackson would bring in Teddy Riley to collaborate with him on songs for his upcoming album, Dangerous, which would go on to become the best-selling New Jack Swing album of all time, selling 32 million copies worldwide. Teddy would co-write and co-produce on 7 of the album's 14 songs: Jam, Why You Wanna Trip on Me, In the Closet, She Drives Me Wild, Remember the Time, Can't Let Her Get Away, and Dangerous. LA and Babyface would be the main songwriters and producers on After Seven's self-titled debut album, 2 of the members being Babyface's older brothers, Melvin and Kevin Edmonds. The album's singles, Ready or Not and Can't Stop, reached the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100, and both reaching number 1 on the R&B chart. Other notable songwriters that were brought in to work on the Bobby album were Bernard Bell and Derek DOA Allen. Bernard Bell, a frequent collaborator of Teddy Riley, also worked on Dangerous, co-writing Remember the Time along with Michael and Teddy in Why You Wanna Trip on Me. Derek Allen was sought after for his musicianship in and out of the studio, performing with the likes of Janet Jackson on her Rhythm Nation 1814 tour. He would go on to work with Lionel Richie, Keith Sweat, Tyrese, and Michael Jackson. The collective hands on Bobby's project were proved to be a recipe for success.
I think it's a lot different from the Don't Be Cruel album. It's a lot more, it's a lot funkier. I think I'm singing a lot better on this album. I'm very picky when it comes to trying to make the best album I possibly can make. I was very picky with this one because this is a follow-up to Don't Be Cruel, which sold over 12 million albums. This album is just simply, it's just Bobby. You know, it's just 13 tracks of Bobby. You know, it's been a long time since I've been out there, and there's been a lot of different artists that's been out, you know. So, you know, in order to make myself different from everybody else, I just named it Bobby. There's a lot of guest stars on this album. We got Whitney Houston, you know, Whitney Houston Brown, Whitney Houston, Debbie Winans, you know, Rakim, Rex and Effect, Styles, you know, a lot of people, you know, worked on it. Plus Teddy Riley did some solos on some of the tracks.
The album starts off with the same prelude that preceded Don't Be Cruel. However, this time it's interrupted by a scratch that begins humping around, written collectively by L.A. Reid, Babyface, Daryl Simmons, Bobby, Thomas Keys, and Jancy Styles. The drums and percussion kick down the door to make way for the keyboards and hard rhythm that come in shortly after. Humping Around, in my opinion, takes inspiration from My Prerogative's musical cadence, hard-hitting groove, and tempo. Don't Be Cruel was a disgruntled conversation between Bobby and a woman, where he tells her to make an adjustment to her attitude. This song is much the same, with Bobby responding to accusations of infidelity. Showing off his vocal chops, Bobby criticizes her lack of trust with lyrics, "When you trust someone and you know you're on their back, you ain't got no trusting about you. And you claim that you don't care where I'm at. You're giving me a reason to doubt you. Say you trust someone, why are you calling all around? Think I've got some dip on the side. You're constantly in doubt. You lose the game if you play that way." Babyface, Daryl Simmons, and Emmanuel Officer lend their background vocals to the chorus that shoots it straight. "Get up off my back, save a heart attack. Ain't nobody humping around. No matter what they say, no it ain't that way. Ain't nobody humping around." A relationship without trust isn't much of a relationship at all. Distrust turns into paranoia, and paranoia becomes possessiveness. Love is a combination of many things, and trust is one of them. When you love someone and you want to love them right, got to get more loving about you. And you know that you're holding on too tight, soon they will be leaving without you. A song of this nature wouldn't be complete without a rap verse from Bobby, who passes the mic over to Styles. Humping Around is exactly what people were expecting to hear from Bobby, and it didn't disappoint. Released as a single on July 28, 1992, it reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and spent 2 weeks at number 1 on the R&B chart. Humping Around was successful overseas, reaching number 1 in Australia and the top 10 in several countries. The music video, like the song, is a fusion of its predecessors, Don't Be Cruel and My Prerogative, simulating a high-energy live performance while depicting the song's subject matter.
Humping Around is a song about a female approaching a boyfriend or husband, and she thinks he's humping around. And the song is basically about the man telling her that, no, I'm not humping around. Calling my friends and asking my friends if I'm humping around, why are you doing this and why are you doing that? It goes on and on and on. And it has a great beat, real good beat. It's just an all-around good song. It was written by LA and Babyface. I didn't have anything to do with it. It wasn't me. It's a nice song. I don't know who it's about. It's just a song, It's not me. None of my songs was written about home. None of them. Nothing. Music is music. My home is home.
Your lead single from this album was Humping Around. Was this like the bachelor party song? It's like it's over. No more humping around.
No, Humping Around is just a song that was written by LA and Babyface and myself and Styles. And it's just a song, It don't got nothing to do with my bachelor party, my life, or nothing. It's just a song.
But people often do that, read stuff into songs. I mean, when it really is just a song, it has nothing to do with your personal life.
Well, people like, you all, interviewers, try to make it into something. But it's just a song. I make music for people, so I do my music. And no matter what the content of the song is, my personal life is still my personal life.
Right.
But my music is my music, and I have to give the people what I think they want to hear. And I think they want to hear something about Ain't No One Humping Around. So.
Right. Well, they did. It was number one.
The album's second track comes in the form of Two Can Play That Game, written by Teddy Riley, Bernard Bell, David Guppy, and Bobby. Produced solely by Teddy Riley, the song has a classic New Jack Swing sound. If someone were to ask me what the early 90s sounded like, I would use the introduction of the song as an example. Bobby's voice and simplistic vocal delivery sits atop the up-tempo, feel-good musical waves. What stands out most to me is the stacked vocals of the chorus. The same voices help Bobby emphasize certain words in his second verse. Lately, you've been acting mighty strange. To me, it seems your attitude has changed, and suddenly you just don't seem the same, instead of playing all those silly games. Reminding her that she's not the only one who could turn over a new leaf. Girl, think about it before you leave. Bobby's got a brand new swing, and if you want to do your own thing, I hear what you're saying, Two Can Play That Game. Bobby graces listeners with another rap verse, showing that he's not just a singer, not just a rapper, but an all-around entertainer. Everybody wants to be a New Jack, fronting on the styles of the Brown. It's kind of wild, now I'm back, but don't get me wrong, cause I was never gone. It was here all along. You see my flavor stand strong. The rhyme concludes with a solid vocal riff and ad-libs that sift through the repeating chorus. If Two Can Play That Game doesn't make you want to get up and hit a quick two-step or Running Man, I don't know what will. The song was remixed by British electronic music group K-Class, who gave it a complete production overhaul, stripped of its R&B, New Jack Swing rhythm, and given a house and pop overlay in its place. The end result? A totally different appeal that transcends the time it was created in. The 4-point keyboard chords are the wheels that make the remix move the way that it does. It was this version of the song that was released as a single on June 13th, 1994, performing well overseas, peaking at number 1 on the UK hip-hop R&B chart and the top 10 in Europe, Italy, Ireland, the Netherlands, and Scotland, to name a few, with many music critics praising this iteration of the song over the original. Getaway comes next, produced by Teddy Riley and co-written by Bobby, Tony Haynes, Bernard Bell, Louis Silas Jr., and Riley. The song wastes no time as the percussion and keyboards rush in and the chorus establishes itself early on. Breathy vocals that mimic the descending synthesizers describing the day-to-day pressures that he and most people can relate to with lyrics, I need a peace of mind, I'm stressed out today. It's about that time to make that getaway. Dealing with the people I deal with every day, got to find a place to hide away. The tone rises high when he starts to describe his hopes of escape. So I can be away from the madness, far from the noise and the darkness. It's not too late, there's gotta be a way for me to escape all this nonsense. You don't have to be a famous singer to relate to what Bobby is saying. Life comes with struggles, issues, and problems we all want to get away from. This song will put the battery in your back to do just that. They try to run my life, but that's the way I live. Do what I want to do, because it's my prerogative. People always tripping about the things I say, but I'm living for the future and I'm doing things my way. So why does the world just keep on dogging me? I have to leave it all behind because there's got to be a way for me to escape all this nonsense. You can't put a price tag on personal freedom, and it's something that we should all strive for as people, rather than being confined to one way of living. Midway, the song is stripped of most of its instrumentation outside of the beat and its claps as Bobby starts his rap verse. It's then flipped upside down, taking on the musical shape of a pure rap song. It doesn't stay there too long as Bobby calls Teddy to bring it back, and it returns to its original groove. Getaway was released as a single on January 5th, 1993, reaching number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 3 on the R&B chart. The music video stays true to the song's theme about getting away, showing Bobby distancing himself from the paparazzi while taking the video to a higher level with sharp and funky choreography in true Bobby Brown fashion. My first personal favorite is next, Till the End of Time, co-written by Teddy Riley, Demetrius Shipp, and Rakim. Co-produced by Riley and Shipp, the lyrics and production are a match made in heaven. Light-hearted and lofty, the background vocals set the tone with loving affirmations while Bobby's vocals work hand in hand with the music. The first song on the album with a textbook R&B message, with lyrics, "Yes, I know times have changed. I'll be straight up with you. It's so hard to explain why I feel the way I do for you. We've had ups and downs. Long as love's still around, we can make it last forever. If we're not too proud to say, I love you." Stressing that they can make it to the end of time if they stay in it together. How to do so is evident in Bobby's choice of words in his second verse, going from I to we. It's so hard for a man in this world full of trials. Tell me, how can I get all the things that I want, that I need? If we both believe we can accomplish anything, just think of all we could achieve, because I'll be yours and you'll be mine until the end of time. This song is an ode to the fact that relationships are a joint effort, both hands on the steering wheel on the way to forever. Bobby riffs and ad-libs from the song's midsection to the end of the song, as enough was sung and another verse would get in the way of the message, allowing listeners to take it all in and get up and dance if moved to do so. Like a feather falling from the sky to the ground, the song has a soft landing with Bobby's final words. That's all we need in order to make a relationship work. All we need is time. But if we believe, all our dreams will come true. Together, forever, and never, till the end of time. Let's go on. Good Enough. Written and produced collectively by Babyface, L.A. Reid, and Daryl Simmons. They match the feel-good energy of Till the End of Time to the T. Babyface's influence on this track is evident in the vocal arrangements and romantic lyricism. If I take you back in the room, spend you around, take off your clothes, and all of mine too. Lay you down. Babyface and Daryl Simmons lend their voices to the chorus, with Babyface being prominently heard. The song's bridge is my favorite portion of the track. Bobby's voice coming together with the background vocalist to keep up the energy, and the lyrics pledging consistent effort. If it ain't good enough, then I'll work harder. Turn it up, I'll please you, darling. Do it up just for you. And baby, I'll taste the wine and give you pleasure. Close the door, I'll do whatever till I know you're hot. Good Enough would debut on the Billboard Hot 100 on October 17th, 1992, and peaked at number 7 and number 5 on the R&B chart. The music video is the adult version of Girlfriend, with Bobby, blessed and highly favored, getting to relate to a beautiful woman on an island. The album shows a different dimension with Pretty Little Girl, written and produced by Babyface, L.A. Reid, and Daryl Simmons. A reggae-like intro precedes the flute-like keyboards that give the song a mellow, laid-back feel, setting itself apart from the rest of the album with unique vocal arrangements, an approach to singing that's almost spoken word-like in nature. Talking about what he needs, saying, "But when all the love is done, who wants love that's on the run? One good time, but there's so much more. How about conversation, some communication, someone who loves you and stimulates your mind?" The best part of the song is its chorus. If Babyface had been any more prominent, it would be Bobby Brown featuring Babyface. His voice stands out the most and complements Bobby's. A pretty little girl just ain't gonna get it. I need a woman. I need the kind of girl who keeps on using her mind all of the time. A pretty little girl just ain't gonna get it. I need a good, strong woman who'll keep love coming all of the time, all of her life. The song's message is most prevalent in its second verse. You know a man likes to have fun. He likes to get into some tender young ronies, as pretty as they come. He likes to love all night long. It makes him feel like they got it going on. Sometimes it's lonely because there's no one at home. Or when all the peaks are done, no one still knows anyone. We've had fun, but I need so much more. The best relationships are ones that have depth and meaning, and a shallow, empty connection can't compare. The song says that even the best of us need that. From the middle of the song towards the end, Bobby conveys that necessity with his strong vocal riffs while Babyface holds down the chorus and hits it out of the park with confessional lyrics that I relate to. I'm not ashamed to say that I've been that kind of guy. Didn't want no lady, I just wanted a good time. But now I think I'm ready for love. I need a woman that'll give it up, someone to love me and someone to be right by my side. Pretty Little Girl just goes to show that only listening to an album for its singles will make you overlook its gems. Teddy Riley and Thomas Taliaferro Jr. combined their songwriting and production talents to create Loving You Down, a mellow vibe contrary to the up-tempo songs Teddy Riley has contributed to the album so far. This one slows it down. It fits right in with the smooth songs from King of Stage and Don't Be Cruel like Spending Time, All Day All Night, where Bobby shines on slower tracks. This song follows the same romantic pattern as the aforementioned with lyrics. Seems so long, but it was just last night. I held you close to me. But when you're not with me, time just passes by. Until the next time you are by my side. And when the time comes, girl, I'm gonna hold you, wrap you up real tight into my arms. When you meet that one girl that makes you feel good, you just want to spend as much time with her as you can and love her down. The bridge leads into a portion of the song that lets the music take over, with just the background vocals and Bobby's faint ad-libs doing the talking. For me, it's always the substance that's in the subtle details. In this song's case, the fluctuating synthesizers are the icing on the cake, ending the song on a cool, soft note. One More Night, produced by Teddy Riley and co-written by Bernard Bell, Herb Middleton, and Riley. Marsha McClurkin and Mary Brown start the song off, with guitar licks as the undertone. Bobby's low-key vocals go back and forth with Marsha and Mary, who lead the song's chorus. An apologetic song where Bobby hopes to make amends for past mistakes. Baby, I know why you want to let me go. All because I've been treating you so bad. Don't say goodbye, I didn't mean to make you cry. I'm in love with you because you're the best I ever had. Just give me one more night. I promise I will make it alright. All I need from you is one more chance to fill your life with a little bit of romance. The latter portion of the song is, in my opinion, its best. Stripped of most of its instrumentation, with Marsha and Mary's vocal harmony front and center, with Bobby's ad-libs underneath. Bobby finishing by saying, "We've had ups and downs, but perfect love will find us. If you'll just be patient, and you'll feel that love sensation. It's alright to cry, girl, just don't say goodbye, girl. Stay for one more night, and I'll make it worth your while." I can relate to asking for one more night and promising to make that chance count. That same year, Bobby Brown married legendary pop star Whitney Houston, whom he met years prior at the 1989 Soul Train Music Awards. It was from that night the two would go on to start a romance that would last for many years. Not only was their love consummated by marriage that year, it was also consummated musically with the album's next track, Something in Common. Co-written by Teddy Riley, Bernard Bell, Bobby and Whitney, Mark Middleton, and Alfred Rosemond. The production is a reflection of the happy space the pair was in at the time, with the vow-like lyrics between the two, proudly declaring their love for one another. Whitney Houston, with the voice of an angel, sings in a way only she could, effortlessly delivering the lyrics. "Now I'm the type of girl who understands my man. I'll be strong when he's weak. I will hold his hand. You're my man and I'm your girl. There's nothing better in this whole wide world. I'll stand by your side till the very end. All in all, best of love, we are friends. If a woman doesn't talk about me this way, or think of me when this song comes on, I don't want it." Pointing out the common ground shared between the two. "We have something in common. You mean so much to me, it should be plain to see that we have something in common. It's the way we feel about each other when we're together." Bobby and Whitney go back and forth with ad-libs and harmonizing. the most sincere of all the songs on the album, given the authenticity of what's taking place on record. Released as a commercial single in the UK and overseas on December 7th, 1993, peaking at number 16 on the UK singles chart. The music video showcases Bobby and Whitney at their best, in full swing, black love and excellence. There's no doubt about the love that they shared during the time they were together. Something in Common is followed by That's the Way Love Is, written by Demetrius Shipp, Teddy Riley, Bobby, Akil Davidson, and produced by Shipp and Riley. It shares the same production elements as Till the End of Time. It's safe to call this song a continuation of it. You are so special to me. It's got me going crazy. You don't know how I feel about you. It just makes me do the things that I do. The stacked chorus adds substance, telling the listener about the emotions love can make you feel, because that's just the way love is. College Girl, my second and personal longtime favorite from the album. Written and produced by Bobby and Derek Allen. The song's introduction, the combination of the song's production and the saxophone by Daniel Lamel. Bobby hits the nail on the head with the first verse. Lady, please tell me how you really feel. Deep inside your heart, I hope that it's for real. I feel lonely, do you wish that I was there? There right by your side, showing you I care. My favorite portion of the song is the chorus. The perfectly stacked vocals saying, College girl, won't you come over tonight? I want to make love to you. I can make it feel alright. The vocal arrangements are my favorite out of all the songs on the album, and dare I say, the best. The time I first heard this track, these lyrics hit home. Lately I've been thinking about how we used to be. Something about your loving makes my life complete. I've never met a girl that can make me feel the way that you do. Girl, won't you come over so I can do the things I want to do. The bridge leads into the saxophone section, which is reminiscent of Bobby's live performances and drives the romantic tone home. While the chorus repeats itself, Bobby speaks and ad-libs in between, where he says, I want to make love to you. There's nothing in the world I won't do for you, baby. Bobby flexes vocally while the saxophone is still there to complement his riffs. College Girl has been my go-to favorite track from this album for the last 10 years. It has never gotten old. If I had to choose only one song from this album to listen to for the rest of my life, I wouldn't hesitate to choose College Girl. My third and final personal favorite is Storm Away, written by Bobby, Dennis Austin, and Kelvin Bowers. Produced by Bobby and Dennis Austin, the track opens with rainfall, thunder, and vocal harmonies. Cool, smooth 808s that set the stage for the ballad Bobby sings. Looking back on when I was a child, not a care in the world. All I've learned and all that I know now, sometimes we go through pain. Take the storm away. How long must this world continue to be? Seems like no one even cares. We need to think about our children and what they need. Help me find a way to take the storm away. He sings about the turmoil that plagues the world and the people in it. Turmoil that can be compared to a non-stop storm. That there needs to be a way to make the world better. The saxophone fits in perfectly with the song's somber yet hopeful tone. The background vocalists help Bobby convey the message. You know, this world is in definite need for a change. We must ask ourselves, do we want all of our kids growing up in a world of hate? A world of prejudice? A world of heartaches? A world of drugs and politics? I don't think so. I think everybody wants to see the same things happen. We must come together and live together in this world. The lyrics stood the test of time because today they still apply to what's happening. The song ends with the same rainfall and thunder that it began with. The album's final track is I'm Your Friend featuring Deborah Winans, written and produced by BB Winans. A conversation between the two where they express their mutual appreciation for each other's friendship. Nothing beats a genuine lasting bond two people can share that can stand the test of time. I promised to stay through the rain, and I told you I'd stick close through the pain. Deborah responds, I promise to go the extra mile, and when you're feeling sad, we'll volunteer the smile, because I'm your friend, and I'm there, just say when. Bobby finishes saying, yes, I'm your friend, and I will love you till the end. I think every friendship should strive to live up to these lyrics, because otherwise, what is it for if it doesn't aim for it? Now, even though there will be times we won't agree, but the love we share, and I know, will always be. I will tell you when right and yes, when wrong, because it's a truth I love and always take along. Bobby and Deborah's voices fit each other like a glove, as the two share a moment where they confirm that they'll be there for one another, segueing into the final verse. Everything one would expect from a collaboration between Bobby Brown and the Winans. The Bobby album would go on to be certified double platinum. Not long after the album's release, Bobby Brown would embark on the Humpin' Around tour, touring the United States, Australia, and Tokyo. Bobby would also win Favorite Soul R&B Artist in 1993 at the American Music Awards, where he also performed a medley of his latest hits. The success of the Bobby album would be a continuation of the successful trend of New Edition's individual endeavors as solo artists. If you made it to the end of this video, I hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure, as always, to like, comment, subscribe, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.